up here on the Pro Wrestling Show for this AEW Dynamite Ring Report. Coming up, Kyle Fletcher taking on Speedball Mike Bailey and one of the Thunder Clash. Alcala taking on Jonathan Ward Jack Harris as well. He's had to let's see Swerve and K-Man Payne against God. Powerhouse Hobbs and Shabbat. The tornado tag match. Then the women's championship. Women's tag team titles will be decided. Will be the Babe of Raph versus Tony Storm and Mika. Well, we begin with the World Championship match with Samoa Joe defends the world title against Eddie Kingston. We get the Pro Wrestling Show started right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, Miss Karen. Tell a friend. Call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right. Let's not waste no time whatsoever. Kick things off with this. The Women's Tag Team Championship were online. As Tony Storm and Mika come out, yeah, and Tony Storm and Mika come out, and Tony Storm and Mika show the world that they're here, they're ready to win the tag team titles, but the Babes are rare. The Babes are rare. Come out there and approach them, ready to go. We thought the favorites were going to be Tony Storm and Mika. Well, that wasn't the case. Tony Storm and Mika was not the case. And Tony Storm and Mika did try to put their all in that match, that effort and stuff. But it turns out to be the Babes are rare. And you see right here, Tony Storm and Mika did not win. The Babes of Rap wins the women's tag team title, the first crown women's tag team champion. Willow Nightingale and Harley Quinn have done it. You see how that went down with stuff. So you see, I really thought, but good sportsmanship by all the women, both tag teams, showing that they lost, but they can always get challenged to become champions down the road. We saw how it went down, so a little bit more that as well. So congratulations to the new tag team champions, the Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale and Harley Quinn. Their effort. Well, we get to one match right here. Jungle Boy Jack Perry tried his effort, but did not win, did not get them a round point into the Continental Classic. Okada did. Okada defeated Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Jungle Boy Jack Perry looked like he was ready, but he just wasn't ready tonight. And made it seem like that being the case tonight. It just wasn't. But Jungle Boy Jack Perry did try to did get an offer from Don Callis. Don Callis wanted Jungle Boy Jack Perry to join the Don Callis family, ditch the Young Boys, and join him with his $1 million. Jungle Boy Jack Perry refused and got beat up in the process and got beaten up until the Young Bucks came out there and saved. The Young Bucks came out and saved Jungle Boy Jack Perry and Luchasaurus as well against the Don Callis family. This Don Callis family was not ready for what they had in store, and I can tell you that right now. Don Callis family did try to do it all, but it just wasn't enough to them. But you can tell this is far from over. Until Don Callis, I want to show you this. Don Callis issued a challenge to the Young Bucks. You know who the Young Bucks third man was gonna be? He was gonna pick three of his guys against the Young Bucks, but the Young Bucks said, you know what, we're gonna reunite the elite and they did so. It's gonna be the Elite versus the Don Callis family. So we'll see the Elite versus the Don Callis family down the road. So we see how that's gonna go down and stuff. Well, we get to this right here. I wanna show you right here. We see Swerve Strickland and Heyman Adam Page. They were in tag team action. Swerve and Heyman were in tag team action. Swerve and Heyman looks like they want to hunt on the hops. The ops found the way. But Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs were in action. Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs were in action. Just the ops was ready. They fought outside, fought inside, but the ops found the way to Powerhouse Hobbs lost to Heyman and Swerve. Heyman and Swerve did so. So we see. Looks like we're gonna see Swerve Heyman saying he don't care who's world champion. Heyman saying that he wants to he don't care who wins whoever the world champion, he's gonna be calling his shot and he wants a shot at him one way or another. So we're gonna see if Heyman will get his title shot, but Swerve probably want a title shot too. So we'll kind of keep real tabs on this and see how this is gonna play out. Also, too, John Moxley with his Death Riders coming around. Good thing this man want to go home or something, get rest, but I guess not. John Moxley with his Death Riders issuing stuff. They want to putting people on AEW on notice. Even for Daniel Garcia, who came out there and called out Mark Briscoe, and told Mark Briscoe that he's going to be taking his title away from him coming up. So we'll see how that's going to go. I know Daniel Garcia has been a TNT champion. But Mark Briscoe might be ready to fuck her up. As far as he's going to go. Also, too, he want to looks like Stokey issue warning to a lot of the tag teams that the tag team champions FTR winning tennis, but Stokey left a whole third message as well. So we saw Stokey with earlier tonight. As well as this, the Continental Classic, Speedball Mark Bailey versus Kyle Fletcher. Comparison style, Kyle Fletcher with his ground-to-ground offense as well. Speedball Mike Bailey with his aerial attack. Both similar to the ring and stuff. We'll see how they did. Well, it looks like Speedball Mike Bailey gets a win over Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher thought he had this win in the front match in the bag. If it wasn't for him, Kyle Fletcher was shocked and couldn't believe it. Kyle Fletcher better watch his back. Speedball Mike Bailey might be coming around sooner than you think. Well, it looks like the women's champion, Chris Statlander, gonna get a hands on Tekla and everyone around. Like her, Jamie Hayden will have their match on Collision coming up. So a lot of moving parts when you think about it in this AEW championship match. So we saw. All right. We go over to the World Championship match. World Championship match. Samoa Joe set to defend the world title against Eddie Kingston up top. Samoa Joe and Eddie Kingston put up a classic. Samoa Joe said earlier about his ops, why he did what he had to do. But the final moments of the match was this. Eddie Kingston got put to sleep. Eddie Kingston was going to be doing what he can with good offense on Joe until Samoa Joe locked in the key to the clutch and made Eddie Kingston tap out and pass out. Samoa Joe thus effectively retaining his world championship. Eddie Kingston has nothing to be ashamed of. Well, Eddie Kingston loses to Samoa Joe, does not win the world championship. We had predicted earlier. So Samoa Joe retains his world championship at all costs. All right, that ends the AEW Ring Report. Let's move over to Wrestling Hot Topics. Wrestling Hot Topics. We want to talk about this right here. Who is this masked man? And why does this masked man keeps on coming around? You see, he came at Survivor Series and cost CM Punk and his team a victory, as well as kicking Rey Mysterio this past Monday on Raw. So a lot of people are still trying to put two and two together on who this masked man can be. So I'm gonna keep a real close eye on this and see who the masked man can be. The Undertaker made a real crazy mistake. The Undertaker had put Toothless Aggression is officially on the way. Talking about Shallow Hill. A lot of people are saying that Undertaker, referring to Chris Benoit, the late controversial wrestler, who was associated with Toothless Aggression. The Undertaker didn't really do his homework and his research. See how that went down. Also, too, it looks like Bayley and her superfan have physically wrestled each other. She's training her superfan. And Bayley's trying to get back, even wrestling her fan. So you see how that went down as well. So a lot going down. Well, I guess that's going to do it for the pro wrestling show for this week. For tonight, you see that Samoa Joe officially made Eddie Kingston tap out. So hopefully we'll see what next week holds for AEW. Well, that's going to do it for the AEW Ring Report. I've been your host, Schedule Dick says so long. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Friday for the SmackDown Ring Report, as well as Saturday's important day for John Cena, who's set to retire after nearly 25 years in the wrestling business. We'll see you then.